For our political parties here on SABC News, with the IEC as well as political parties having declared that they are targeting young people this time around. The question we are asking these political parties is what's in it for the youth, and we're discussing everything from the youth's apparent disgruntlement with political parties to issues affecting young people in our country in general. Mzwandile, I'm sure you have a lot to answer for from the attacks you're clearly getting from the other.
Look, we must admit that as a governing party, all eyes will be on us. But we are doing much more than any other government has done before. The ANC government has been able to roll out infrastructure, has been able to provide social security net for all. It continues to provide for education. The life expectancy of our people has increased as a result of the ANC intervention policies and so on. But you see, for me, what is important is that I want people to acknowledge that South Africa is a better place than it was, because if there is a disagreement at that point, I would want us to continue engaging, because there's a number of areas that we can point in terms of the 5 priorities that we've set ourselves out as an ANC-led government, but more importantly, in terms of how the society is developing in the main. We have the black middle class now, which was never there before. And everybody says that those are the people who are going to shun the ANC. And I can assure you that the people of South Africa know the party that brought them freedom, and they know that only the African National Congress will bring them economic freedom, which is what all of us are looking for. Because if all was well, we would not be going to South Africans to look for their vote. We want to make sure that during this phase, we fight to bring about socio-economic freedom to our people, so that the issues of poverty, unemployment, and inequality are properly addressed in the country.
Look, it is very worrying when the African National Congress comes and plays in the emotions of our people. The people that is talking about that they are servicing are very poor, and they are taking that as an advantage, and they play with our people's emotions. We are saying as AZAPO, we understand that the democracy that was ushered in 1994 was brought about the agreement which took place in the Kempton Park, and some of their failures, we understand that it is because of the conditions which were set during those negotiations. And we are saying to our people, like we have been very consistent even before 1994 when we went to boycott those elections, that those conditions are the conditions that need to be reviewed. Our people need economic freedom. Our people need their land back. And we're saying as AZAPO that when we take over government, the first thing that we're going to do is to make sure that our people have their land back and our people have their economy.
Bloemfontein voter, your concluding remarks quickly.
Well, we need legislation in South Africa that assists in job creation and that enables job creation. We need a South African government that is not stuck in the past, but is living in the present and is focusing on the future. That is what the ANC cannot do. Nelson Mandela said that if the ANC government does to you what the apartheid government did to you, do to the ANC government what you did to the apartheid government. And the people of South Africa should take note of that. It is time now for change. It is time now to vote with your conscience. It is time to vote with your value system and not an historic vote. It is now time to start living in the present and start focusing on the future.
Thank you very much. Mbali?
Vuyo, it's a very simple choice for young people in this country. They need to look at which parties have actually been representing them. Do they want to vote for parties that have failed to lead them and have been marred by themselves and corruption and scandals that they cannot get out of? Or do they want to be led by young people who understand their needs and understand their concerns, who are not worried about whether or not they're middle class, but understand that the problems that are facing young people right now are jobs, unemployment, education, rape, drugs, and social economic development, skills, opportunities? The only party that is championing those issues right now is the Democratic Alliance Youth. And that is what young people need to be looking at when they go towards the elections next year, which is why it's so important that they've registered to vote now. We need to remember what we need to own our past. But at the same time to make sure that our future is one that we are going to make sure is determined by us. And we will not be held ransom by parties that claim to speak for us when we see by their actions that they do not care for us.
I have to stop you right there. Mbali, thanks very much. Well, thanks to our panelists. Unfortunately, that's all we had time for on this special edition of Your World. Time now for your weather details with Ms. Erasmus.